Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Louis Van Amstel Podcast with me, Louis. And this one is all answering your questions. Now, we had many questions. I'm going through every single one of them. It might take me a few episodes, a few podcasts to get through them. And I just glazed over the questions, and they're pretty deep and pretty personal. But like I said, as long as they're not inappropriate, I will answer as honest as I can. So here we go. I have them here on my phone, so I'm going to read them out loud. From Jody Cleary. I'm curious why Daniel chose the cello. Do you or your ex play an instrument that possibly sparked the interest, or did he play before he became a member of your family? Well, this is interesting. I am a dancer. I did 4 sports. I love dancing, and I regret not, in hindsight, I regret not ever playing an instrument. Neither did my ex, not that I know of. So when we looked at the website, the Art Gallery of Colorado, where we were looking for child number 1 that we were going to adopt, we saw Daniel's thumbnail and we saw the little paragraph. And in there, he already shared that he loves the cello. He was 10 years old, and he was already on the website for years. So I think here is where his love for the cello comes from. When he came with all his stuff and we started unpacking the boxes that he came with from Grand Junction, from his foster care family, an LP player came out of the boxes. And then we call them LPs in Europe, the black vinyls, and lo and behold, I'm looking at a cover of Yo-Yo Ma. I know Yo-Yo Ma. He's one of the best, if not the best cellists in the country. And I asked him about it. Yeah, Dad, I love the cello. He never played it, but because of that vinyl, I believe he played it over and over. It helped him relax, I guess, deal with the anxiety. And so the cello, he came with the idea of doing cello. So, of course, when it was a choice at school, when he went to middle school, he has been an orchestra playing the cello ever since. He has a cello tutor. He goes there weekly, private lessons, and he just did audition for high school, and he got in. So he will be in the symphony orchestra when he goes into 10th grade in August of 2024. So I'm really proud. He's stuck with it. He is happy with it. So yeah, there is... I'm just supporting him with the fact that he wants to do cello, but I have nothing to do. There was no spark from my side. I play no instruments other than my body is the instrument of dance. So Jody, hopefully you're happy with your answer. Next one, Diane Eisman. How have the boys handled the divorce? Such a beautiful story. What is a beautiful story, Diane? The divorce? Or the fact that we're the same-sex married couple adopting 2 children out of foster care? I'm going to assume that's what you mean. And I know you, Diane, so I have a feeling that's what you meant. So how did the boys deal with the divorce? How are they dealing with the divorce? Well, not great. No one is. I didn't deal with it in a great manner. And on top, when we were separated, I was doing Dance with the Stars season 31 with Cheryl Ladd. And I had my boys fly out a few times to enjoy, being in LA. They never went to the show. But we've been hands-on. And also, when it was clear that we were going to divorce, we decided January 20th, 2023, and I'm saying we, let me make that clear. I did not decide to get divorced. I agreed to it because, it takes two. And if the other one wants to get divorced and I could see in his eyes that he was ready, that that's what he wanted, then I am going laser speed. Let's get it over with. So we pretty much started the process January 20th. That's when the decision was made. House went on the market. House went, get the house ready for sale. Luckily, that all went great, fast. Got into a new home, still within the boundaries of the kids' schools, because I wanted to make sure that they would go to the same school. My ex moved out somewhere 35 minutes away from their school district, but that was his choice. That he can do that. So then we already did a lot ourselves, sitting together, two adults. Let's iron this out. And then in July, we sat together in different rooms with our lawyers. And that day, everything was decided upon. Papers were signed. In the state of Utah, we had to wait 1 month before we could actually file. So I believe we got filed September 5th, right after Labor Day Monday, and September 13th, our divorce was final. So January 1st, September 13th, I'd say less than 6 months, or about 6 months, we did it. We wanted to do it. I wanted to get it over with as soon as possible so that we can all move on, so that the kids can move on. And we have been communicating with them together when it happened, very almost as a matter of fact, and not show emotions in front of the kids. And then, of course, the emotions come out. Daniel is more of an introvert in that sense, so he was not as vocal. Johnny, really, it hit him hard. So, and we're still dealing with it, but he is doing a wonderful job working on new skills that he learned. I guess the feeling of neglect came back up, or, when you're in foster care, you never know if you will find your forever home again. So when he found his forever home, then because of divorce, was that the beginning of the end? Am I going back to foster care? Of course, I say hell no to that. But, a 14-year-old, 13-year-old with a brain that's already learning to catch up with all the years of not developing certain skills, because ultimately we became their parents at 10, and a lot of work. But right now, this is where we are in the present moment. They're doing well. They're doing much better at school. Daniel has his cello. Johnny wants to start the violin. So once we start the next school year, we're going to look for orchestra and see if he can get in starting the violin. And he's starting to swim. He is tall, and they need sports like me. When the more sports I did, if there was anxiety, I put it all into dance or swimming or tennis. So, and of course skiing. That's still my first love. Anyway, so they're dealing. It's not been easy. But no divorce is easy for no one. Whether you're the one deciding to divorce, or you're the recipient of that news, or the kids. It's not easy. But we're dealing with it, and we're still creating a lot of good times together. Meaning, Johnny, Daniel, and I. I am divorced. Next question. Marilyn Holland. Oh, I know you, Marilyn. Let's see what you asked. With all your dancing, hiking, traveling, etc., I am sure that you must get really sore muscles from time to time. What do you recommend to your students to help relieve these sore muscles? With your business, You can't just stop exercising. Well, there is kind of the answer. The more you exercise on a frequent basis, your body gets used to that. So you get less sore. And I feel when I do La Blast 3 times a week, or I travel and do La Blast master classes, I'm on a roll and I have much less muscle pain. If I take off for a week, if we go on vacation or we go camping, yeah, it's hiking, but it's not really squatting and lunging and plyometrics, weight training, and of course the interval training from doing all these different dances, going to the gym. So if you don't do that for a week or two, you feel like you're back to square one. It is not true, but the body likes consistency. Change is good, but the body likes consistency. So it really is a matter of finding that consistency. So if you're, and I know you, Marilyn, you do every single on-demand class. So you're working out 50 minutes, 4 or 5 times a week. Well, that's great. So if you don't do that for a week, you're going to feel it because the body is not getting that exercise. It's not getting that heart rate up, getting to that fat burning zone. Then you're switching from cardio to muscle endurance, strength training with all these weights that we use during songs. So if you know, and this is for anyone, if you know that you change up your regime for a week or two, find something else to do. Whether it's just simply walking, or if you get the time, just do some weight training. But keep up something. If you just stop for a week or two, that's when you get sore. Another reason why you get sore is because you might have a boatload of energy and you will go a lot deeper or further, or suddenly you go from 3 pounds to 5 pounds weights. Do that for 4 songs and you will be a lot more sore. But sore is not a bad word. Sore is just, well, the body hasn't worked, or you're pushing your body to the next level. So you get sore. So please don't think that sore is a bad thing. You just have to intuitively monitor. Is it sore but it still feels good and it's from hard work? Or is it sore because it's close to a little tear in a muscle and it's close to being an injury? That's the biggest message that I can give you in the answer to this question. Keep your workout consistently. If you can't, do something else while on vacation. So yeah, when we're going to Cancun, I'm gonna actually hit the gym harder. At home, I don't have the time. But when I'm going on vacation, I actually take the time. Now, Daniel loves tennis. The hotel where we're going, they have a tennis court. So if I don't do La Blast or don't go to the gym, well, then I might pick up tennis with my son. It's great. It's son and father time. We're doing a sport and we're practicing his skills and we're still working out. So hopefully this answer satisfies not only you, Marilyn, but anyone else. Yes, consistency is key. However, the body does like change. So changing it up is a great thing. Now, I have time for one more question. I don't want to do all these questions in one podcast. They're also very diverse. So Colleen Mock, let's see what you're asking. Now that you have 2 teenage sons, is marriage in your future again? Children change the dynamics of many things. Is this the case with experiencing marriage again? Well, Colleen, you're very nosy. I will never say never, because I said I wasn't going to get married, and then I got married. I thought I was never going to get kids. I really wanted kids when I lived in Europe. Then when I moved to the United States, to New York City, living the life, then joining Dancing with the Stars, I never thought that I would be a dad either. And there I was, married and kids. Now, will I ever get married? I don't know. But I'm not just going to say yes because the other side wants to get married. I made that mistake once. I won't make that mistake again. Now, my marriage, in my opinion, was not a mistake. I was ready to marriage counseling and to do whatever it took, but it takes two to tango. So when I knew it was over, boom, cut the cord, let's finish this. Will I do that again? It depends on the person. And I'm now in a place too, I know who I am, and I found the confidence within me, because I don't always have that I'm worth it. And before someone will put a ring on this finger, he better be worth it. So, on that note, please, if you have a question, please hashtag Ask Louis and put it in the chat box. And it doesn't really matter what chat box, but since we're doing these podcasts right now, I would say if you're listening and say, hey, I have a question or a follow-up question on an answer that I gave you from a person that asked me a question, you still with me? Please do so. Again, hashtag Ask Louis. And my producers will then see all these questions. And there were many more. So I guess we'll do many more podcasts and I will answer your questions. But for now, have a great rest of your day. And thank you for listening.